Okay, here we are with another episode of In the Sheets with Sigillian. So, there's a couple of things I wanted to go over today in light of the recent updates with CitizenCon and the community being in an uproar. So, it's my goal to kind of suppress that a little bit. So, I'm just going to share with you some of the spreadsheets that I like to follow on a regular basis, in that it might bring a little bit of confidence maybe to the community. So just a couple of things that I'd like to show you. So here we have a typical scam. So this is what Lucky Coin is, a cryptocurrency. This is how we see it. We see, a big spike in the beginning, and then gradually it kind of tapers off and disappears. So this is an exit scam in that they did a huge fundraising campaign and then basically just walked away with all the money. And since cryptocurrency is mostly untraceable, you can do that. This is the total pledges, the total amount of money that Star Citizen has made. So this is what gives me a great deal of confidence, is that there's really no strong point of evidence that looks like it's going to exit, basically. We get this great curve, and so we have these blue areas here. You see these blue areas. So these are what we call deltas, and this basically represents the amount of change that occurred within a period of time. They're great. We want as many deltas and big deltas as possible because it shows an immediate spurt of growth, essentially. And when it comes to business development, growth is everything. So this, to me, looks like a pretty healthy company. It doesn't really look like a scam. And then there's this spreadsheet here. This chart, sorry. This is my favorite chart. I love this chart. And you'll see me posting this chart within the ship trades graphic that I'd like to show. So anyways, follow this blue line here. You see this blue line? I'm slowly following. Well, this blue line represents the amount of people who don't have ships. Basically, they're potentially new players, new accounts, and that's really what we want because they represent the future of growth with Star Citizen. And what's interesting is that you see these deltas, these large deltas here, these big spikes. These are your free fly events. So you see this one, and we see this one, we see this one, and we see this one. These are your free fly events, and you can see that when there are the free fly events, we get this huge jump in population. These spikes. You see another one here. Right. Some of these also might be your release schedules as well. So 3.1 came out here. Yep. So we got this one. And usually when they have a release, they have the free flights that go with it. So this was actually our free flight that we had in the springtime. And you can see the difference between our April free flight and our was it August free flight. Either way, again, we have this linear progression upwards from 2015, 2014 to where we are to 2018, kind of. You see this progression to, the population is increasing, very healthy. But 2018 was interesting because it started going downwards. And this is new. We haven't actually had this in Star Citizen before, this downwards progression. This could mean that people are buying ships, or accounts are now having ships. The amount of people who are in the game and own a ship is changing. So that's now going down. Basically, we're not getting new people anymore. So 2018 has been kind of a bad year for establishing new players. And what I was hoping for was like this point here. Our recent free fly, which was massive, we just had a big spike. And this could be a total change. So tune in next week to find out more about that.
ahead. And we are live on panel, everybody.
Oh yeah. Good to see everybody.
I realized I forgot my microphone.
Guys.
You guys as well. Is it a typo? Where is the typo?
Good to see you all. Heck yeah.
I feel like this song is like a perfect song for this week. Put down your weapons, everybody. The pitchforks too. Everybody, welcome to the show. This has been an interesting week to say the least. We've got Sigelian, Ace Tycho, and making his debut on the Night Crew, we have Stewie 1701. Hype!
What's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, welcome to be here. Or you're welcome.
Great having you, dude.
All right. So what do we have this week going on, other than everybody being up in arms and breaking Jared? Should we start with the roadmap first?
Yeah, let's take a look at that beast.
It's so fun. So
I'm
fun.
just going to open it up here on my computer.
For those that don't know, this week, a lot of us were just super busy, so we didn't have as many pre-recorded this week. So we're doing a little bit off the cuff. Kind of goes reminiscent back to how this first started in the coffee streams. But we'll make it work. Hey!
Absolutely.
Same. I has coffee.
It's good medicine to
let
have.
me pull up that screen.
Heck yeah. Are we going to be starting with 3.3 or are we working backwards?
So let's talk 3.3, just because we have this pretty little graph that Sigelian was handy to hand to me from our friends at Planet Express Crew. PlanetExpressCrew.com for those who want to learn more about them. Thank you. So what is what's the big thing that you guys are all excited about to see a lot of progress on?
You know, I've been steadily interested in the AI, little bit by little bit. It may not be that exciting to a lot of people, but I'm really looking forward to the FPS stuff and seeing what the AI will be like with the NPCs, you know? So
you're pretty disappointed in 3.2 then?
Yeah. I got over that, but I still can't wait. I'm even more hyped now than ever before.
Yeah. Where is that on the roadmap, actually? Is that... Do you see that anywhere? That's interesting that you mentioned that.
It's not on this one, but it's definitely, if I'm right, in 3.4. Yeah, 3.4.
All right.
Oh, so it's not even in 3.3.
Nope.
Yep. Well,
sorry about that, Ace. Better luck next time.
Well, what I was looking at was the FPS movement smoothing stuff is increasing. It's like 10 of 12, and all that good stuff. So you know, all the cool reactions they're doing, and just a bunch of really cool stuff there. Now on this graph, it doesn't show that much detail, but what I was talking about the other day was just all the craziness, and of course all the AI flight stuff too, which is crazy because some of those Gladiuses can really rip you a new one when you're around Kovalex or out there trying to get your crime stat down as well by selling, you know?
Yeah, for reals.
You know, Kovalex, yeah. I'm just gonna post that in the. Oh shoot! I should have asked for permission. I'm sorry.
I thought I gave you permission.
I was just gonna paste the roadmap if anybody else wanted to see it.
The
real roadmap.
Oh, exclamation point roadmap, by the way.
Oh, nice. There you go.
But let me give you permissions. You guys keep talking.
I should have known better, to be honest.
Yeah.
I should have known you had a command for it. So what else do we got? So we got. You know what? Let's load up the real one. Yeah, you already have it open. Okay, yeah. So we
Yeah,
got-
I'm hyped for all the moons. I love exploring in my heart, right? I love exploring. I'm glad they're polishing. I'm glad they're done. I'm super hyped about them. And I'm looking forward to sneaky ways into well, onto the planet, into the city. And that's going to be fun.
So
And
there's four moons added: Ariel, Magda, Ida, and Aberdeen. Which moon are you gonna go to first?
Ariel looks really interesting to me.
Yeah.
But Aberdeen looks like it's going to poison me instantly if I do anything wrong. So that looks extremely fascinating.
Can
you
you
know?
can you like
man.
open up the Aberdeen card on the roadmap?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I'm
Where's
sure he
that?
can.
Locations.
Sure, he can
Yeah,
do that.
locations 3.3. So this
Got it,
is
dude.
Ace Tycho's girlfriend area here. So you know when I
totally.
looked at this, the first thing you don't have it open yet. But that's 3.4. You're looking at 3.4.
That explains it. I was very confused.
There you go.
So
Perfect.
much awesomeness.
This one's Ace Tycho's girlfriend, Ariel. So it's funny, she's
There
like
you
a
go.
redhead, eh? But
Oh God.
when I took a look at this, I thought it was the planet Zebus from Metroid. Do you remember the Super Metroid game? And there was like the 16-bit design or whatever, and it looks. Oh, I wish I could bring up a picture of Zebus right next to this. I think they look identical. That'll be
It's
really
pretty fun.
exciting.
I mean, knowing these devs, it probably was inspired by them. You know how sci-fi inspired they are, which is super fun.
Stewie,
This
how
is the
about
one I
you?
wanna
What's the
go to.
first? What's the? Or
Magda.
I think
Magda?
Ida?
Heck
Did
yeah,
I hear
dude.
say it?
Cool.
you know, I don't even know what Magda looks like. Did they show us any kind of teaser footage about that?
I don't really think so.
We
What
don't
about
know
you,
anything. We haven't
Stu?
met
Which one are
Magda
you
yet.
looking for?
Is it Elta or Ita?
Oh right, I do.
Yeah. Ita.
Ita, yeah. I think that one. And I'm a big. If you didn't notice, I'm a big Trekkie,
No.
and that
never.
has a very Romulan-looking look to it.
Oh, that's
Yes.
true.
So
Yes. Yes.
So
I
I'm
see
thinking
that.
that reminds me of Star Trek. So I think that's probably the one I'm going to go to first.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
Though I have to be honest, like, that's great that there's another moon. But let's be honest, what we're all excited about is the planet. Finally having a freaking planet.
Yeah.
I can't wait to find sneaky ways into Lorville. Oh,
So
so much fun.
Just
So I
walk the entire perimeter on foot, trying to look for all the
Yes.
little cracks.
I have looked around the whole region around Levski. I've gone all up and around through the outside of Levski, all the little nooks and crannies, and I'm like, there has to be cool things. There has to be exciting little things that are hidden, and it just all this craziness, and it's just like all these little details. Levski aesthetically, and Stewie and I were talking about this the other day in one of our live streams, is Levski has so much detail, so much interesting little nuance,
it's true.
and
As Civilian says.
love those little things, it's pretty, and so many places to die, I guess, huh? With which thing?
Certain
Am I
biomes,
behind?
certain parts of it are definitely toxic.
Yeah, and
Especially some of the moons.
With Aberdeen, right? Or Aberdeen, right? So, oh, good. But yeah, guys, just all the little nooks and crannies, all the little alleyways, all the little places to explore, all the little sewer areas that they've mentioned that are around and ways to sneak in. I'm excited about that.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a bit of a confession. I made a loop of the water. Their water preview they had was like
Love
10
it.
seconds. I made a loop of it. I watched that for like 3 minutes straight, just like loop. I'm like, oh
Love
god.
it, dude. It's the
Even though
best.
it's toxic water, I mean, it's great.
Absolutely. It shows the potential of the future and what's to come, It's good stuff.
We're like parched. We haven't had water in ever.
Mm-mm.
I remember when we've seen water last.
So true.
I
So
wonder who's
interesting
going to be the
in-
first person. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. All you.
The you know that GIF that's the 600i that's parked in the water. Like Ace has it. I see it. I see him posted a lot on his stream. But it's like halfway submerged and like it's like landed like in a shallow lake.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if you've
yeah,
seen it or
yeah.
not.
I've seen that.
I'm
picture
wondering who the
before.
first person to do that once 3.3 comes out, once the water's out, land their 600i and the toxic waters.
I think that'll be the first thing I do. Go straight for the water.
Yeah,
Try and go
yeah,
submersible.
yeah.
Right?
That would be cool.
Jeez. I can't wait for underwater environments one of these days. I'm just can't wait to explore them. You know, they are going to be cool.
Because I have to say, I don't know if you guys are fans at all, but if we think about Wing Commander, I also think about the 90s and I think about Sequest DSV.
Yes, I loved Sequest, man.
Yeah.
So
Just
if you
opening
guys
that can
notice,
of worms.
Nathan Bridger.
real quick, pull up the ARC map. All of the major like planets like Hurston, ArcCorp, and Crusader, all of them are really red for freaking threats. Kind of interesting.
Right? Right?
Huh.
I hear that.
And it's not like, in between them, or I'd expect to see it. But no, it's like flat out all the way in the planetary systems themselves.
What is that? What are you looking at right now? Why is this like this? What system are you looking at?
This is Stanton. Yeah, I was looking at Hurston.
Why is it red?
That's the level of threat. The redder it is, the more threat there is.
It's
There's the threat in Stanton right now?
It's the different filters they have. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I
Got it,
see.
dude.
Oh, so it's always been like that. This
Yeah.
isn't new.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then some of it has been added. It wasn't always
I
there.
see.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thought we were under attack or something. I just had a heart attack.
Right?
Like,
Right?
I'm not ready for this. They caught us with our pants down again.
Big Benny AI. Oh God. Lord. See a bunch of vending machines walk down the hallway. Boom, 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 boom. Submit, human. Submit.
It's all
I do find it
it's fun
hilarious
and
that
games.
Vinny, the guy that apparently stole them all, that got crushed by one.
Right?
Oh,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're all playing their music. Yum yum. No, no.
So speaking of news this week, the Aaron Halo, I think I'm saying that right, or is it Aaron?
Yeah.
Is not going to be included with the first one. So even though we'll have two different systems, and between those is our good friend the Halo, they're considering that an entire separate development project.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, it has its own special
Right.
gates.
That's interesting.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Definitely. Definitely.
So if the asteroid field is going to be that dense, is it going to be that dense for that size, like that big?
Apparently, it is. Yeah, like you're not going to be able
That's
to just run
crazy.
through it.
That's
Which means,
crazy.
though, what they were asking is in order to get to ArcCorp, you have to jump through it, technically. You see, Crusader's inside it,
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Hurston's inside it,
Yeah.
ArcCorp is outside
awesome.
of it, and yet the Halo will not be there.
That's very interesting. It kind of makes a very strategic kind of
Mhm.
Yeah.
significance for Stanton that way, or at least Hurston,
Cool.
at least.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. Like those gateways that they have in there are going to be ripe for pirates. I'm thinking, especially once
Oh.
once again, flip on the pirate meter,
Right?
and you'll notice
Right?
actually it follows the Halo around quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there are NPC AI attacking us constantly, so it just makes
Absolutely.
sense.
Absolutely. I know that I know today well, we'll talk about the show more later on, but I know that that Pappy talked about how certain events might be showing up in the future, and how like the UEE fleet might come through Stanton, and how it might have a temporary effect on the pirates, and how it might affect the whole region in a certain way because of an entire UEE fleet comes rolling through. yeah, it's going to have effect, you know. So it's,
Let's see.
it'll be
Do I
fun.
think me and my small band of friends can take on like a Bengal and a couple of javelins and an entire swarm of fighters?
And a
Ah!
few Idrises for support, right?
Yeah, like
Oh,
even if it's a
God.
That's
small
a
one,
hold
it's
my
gonna be some
beer
interest.
moment right there.
Right? Right? I mean, when an Idris is a support vessel, you know something's rocking, you know? So
Well, I don't always think
it's
more I think on it. It's not always going to be like Bengals everywhere, right? They say the Bengals hang out
absolutely.
towards the edge next to the Vandal to kind of keep them at bay. But even like a couple of
Absolutely.
Idrises drop into there, like you're gonna be paying attention.
That's quite the presence, right? So yeah, absolutely.
I would,
Absolutely.
just to think about the capital ships there, like just consider the fact that Star Citizen is huge, like such a
Sure.
massive place to be. And think about the Herald and how many times that we've seen a Herald flying around in the verse. It happens, but you don't see them that much, right?
Mhm.
Imagine if there's a limited edition on the Herald, how often you'd actually see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
can tell you,
true.
I fly my Herald quite often, or at least attempt to
True.
not become a pull of the few.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I
it's
never
fun.
see them. I don't know.
Oh.
When it comes to rare ships, I don't ever see them very often, I don't think. I don't
Mhm.
know if I've seen an AMD ship yet, surprisingly.
It's a good point. It's a good point. The other day I saw a hoplite. I hadn't seen a hoplite in game in a while.
Oh wow, yeah, me neither.
Those are cool, right? I love them. I love the concept of them, and like the friggin' Redeemer one day to be able to play it. You know, that's for those that don't know, that's a community created sort of ship. You know, from a number of years ago. When was that, guys? I don't know anymore, but that thing, it's like a big gunboat slash like troop or like troop dropper, you know, troop carrier, not carrier, but like a small, well, it's more like a Pelican, more like a gunship Pelican kind of thing, right? So
And it looks like it's from an anime as well. Very
Yeah,
important part.
right,
And I
shoot,
yeah, I mean that as a compliment.
there
it
you
was
go.
like how can we make a ship that's like it drops into a system and can take on 5 other players at one time, kind of ship. And I think that's why
Absolutely.
they haven't released it, because they don't know how to balance against it.
It's crazy cool. I mean, it's such a multi-purpose vessel. It's like, what? I love it. I love it. I almost got one last fall. I was this close. I almost got a Warden too, but I'm like, let's hold off. Let's hold off.
Maybe they'll announce that at CitizenCon.
Oof.
Road to the Redeemer.
Oof. Right? Right? Oh man, I'm pretty hyped about it.
Redeemer, there
So
you go,
hyped.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love. Yeah, look at that thing. Oof, it's just so pretty.
When I was CCUing up the line from my 300i to my Carrack, this is the ship I kept the longest. I went from every ship in between those two, and this is the ship I
Right.
kept the longest. It was back only in hangar, and obviously it wasn't flyable, but
Ah,
it was so cool looking in my hangar. And I had so many
Absolutely.
screenshots, but then reformatted my hard drive and lost them all.
I did the same thing to my 2.0
Oops.
screenshots.
right?
I've done that
God.
too a couple times.
I mean, this ship and then a totally different kind of ship, the Crucible, I am
the
really
Crucible,
interested in.
yes.
And I'm also interested in the Pioneer, but the Crucible, I don't know. They're just, I love looking through the pictures and looking at how cool it is and what it can do, right? It's so complex, and all of its movements and its design and what it's capable of. It's just
There's something really interesting going on.
so cool. So cool.
There's something really interesting going on with the Crucible on the Star Citizen Trade subreddit, and that it is very volatile for some reason. I have no idea why. And it's I think it's selling for like $330 right now, which is quite high, I feel.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah. Bless you.
Bless you, dude. But yeah, it's funny how that happens. You know, I don't know. Who knows? With all the pricing, all the movements, and all the stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for my Crucible to come into the game, but I'm
Absolutely.
definitely more excited about the Pioneer.
Yeah, yeah, I'm extremely excited about that. I'm so excited about that for sure.
I think it would be safe to say that we should be expecting an update for that soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, at least a solid update. I'm looking forward to some very light, like tier 0, very early beginning stage land claim sort of stuff, just to test it. I really hope that's part of it. And I know they talked about a lot of the event stuff, and they mentioned it on the CitizenCon webpage, and talking about what's going to be when and all that. But I hope they haven't mentioned everything, because they're not going to give away some of their surprises and secrets. They're not going to post them. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I know Chris mentioned, like one of his presentations, it's talking about the road to the future, like the roadmap to the future. So I'm pretty hyped about that, thinking that, what he's done in the past, it's always been super cool, right? It's always been very interesting. And he's so passionate about the game, passionate about his vision and his dream that's becoming a reality every quarter, every week. I'm looking forward to what he has up his sleeves, right next to those super cool tech watches that he has on each wrist, because I'm totally like that too. I would have like a regular watch on one and like my smart watch, if I had one, on the other,
I think we should
my tier 0 Moby glass. Excuse me.
But how cool must that be to see your, have this dream
exactly.
that's this size, and then seeing it being actually created. Like not too many people in this world can say that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say too, is, like, oh, I want this entire space sim that's going to like blow everybody's minds, then being able to actually do it, like, thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's becoming a thing. I mean, we're literally a part of it. I mean, how cool is that, right? As much as people talk about how frustrating or how it's not a thing, it's like, well, yeah, duh. It's being added to. Layer after layer of incredibleness is being added every quarter of the year, and it's not going to be a game that just shows up one day. It's going to be a game that's slowly realized and guided and harnessed with the community being a part of it. So it's going to be an amazing product. It's going to take longer, but everything is worth it. Everything that's amazing takes a while. You know what I mean? Just like I mentioned before, like a slow cooked meal, it's worth it. It takes time, but it's the best,
I think that the Pioneer has an interesting future ahead of it, just because when the roadmap was accidentally released a few weeks ago, land claims are on it, right? So it's like they're starting to tease base building a little bit, right? And then they talk about the Habs and hangar system this morning, and how they kind of have like an apartment system kind of in concept, where we'll be renting apartments or these Habs, and we get a hangar with it. I mean, it looks like housing is probably a big part of this. And if I think about his partner Richard Garriott, who did a Shroud of the Avatar, that whole game was a big real estate fiasco.
And our holiday, I agree. Like, that's one thing most people don't really pay attention to. They're like, oh, things are going slow, salt. And I'm like, dude, as a programmer, they only have 500 programmers. And that sounds like a lot, but it really is not. Not for everything that they've tackled and that they're trying to update at the moment. We're starting to see some forward motion right now, mostly because they've rebuilt so many systems, refactoring, if you will. They still have a lot more refactoring to get done, and they've also, like, every time they do a new release, there's always new systems being merged. There's bugs. It just happens. Don't worry about it.
Right? I mean, it's people think of some of these systems as being just one thing. And for example, if you look at OCS, and that's object container streaming, and then you look at all the subcategories under object container streaming, each one of those categories have to be properly created, and it comes together as one larger thing. So OCS, Object Container Streaming, isn't some simple little thing. It's one of the well, it is the priority thing for them, right? And it takes a lot of people, and it takes time if you want it to be done right.
So yeah, especially
But
that one, because they didn't just do like a minor update with that. It was like, let's rewrite almost all of our code.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely.
One thing that's interesting about OCS is that it doesn't look like it got a lot of attention over the past week. None of the OCS things have changed according to the spreadsheet.
Yeah, and hopefully it's like what Stewie mentioned a few weeks ago, whatever, or I think when you guys mentioned it too on the show, like some of these, hopefully, if they're like super low level numbers, then it'll suddenly jump, right? It'll suddenly jump to like almost being completed. Hopefully that'll be the case, right?
That's true, yeah. Very true.
Hopefully.
And they also mentioned in one of the shows this week that they've now had to rebuild like how they do the boxes, and now it's not just boxes and circles. Now they've got these irregular shapes and stuff like that too, right? Like they also had to stop.
Very
Let's
true.
rebuild that subsystem that we weren't expecting to, and get
Very
that
true.
working. All right, now we got that working. Let's move on. Stop, work on this thing. Crap, we got another thing that got dropped in the mix. All right, let's get that done next. Like one of the things I've also noticed is like some of these you'll just see like as they keep going, they're making progress by completing tasks, but the number of tasks keeps going up. How many times that's
Imagine
happened
that.
to me in real life?
Yeah.
Dude, for real, right?
Yeah.
God, you get started on something and it's like, oh, I thought this was 5 things. It's now suddenly 15.
Yeah.
What's that Malcolm in the middle episode where he goes and fixes a light, and then it's like the switch doesn't work, so he goes down to the basement, and it's like, and that doesn't work, and he goes.
That's exactly what
You
I was
know what I'm
trying to
talking
say.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I
So
do.
true.
I was just going to mention that.
God, it's so true. Oh my God.
The big thing that some people don't understand, though, is that and the network bind cooling, those two things combined sets the stage for some insane scaling.
Absolutely.
Now, like with those two things combined, they're going to be able to just add 4 times the amount of people on the same server without even doing meshing. We'll immediately jump from
Absolutely.
50 to 200 just because of those two implementations.
And
Think about
more
that.
people can access it. It's incredible to think about. You're absolutely right. I mean, more people can access it. More people can get on it because more systems can actually handle it. You don't have to have like a super mega ship computer to run it, and it's I'm a little excited. I don't know if you guys know this. I like Star
I had no
Citizen a
idea.
smidgen, just a little bit.
Just a little.
I play it every once in a while, and so
Wait, you actually play it? I could
um,
have swore you stream nothing but other things.
yeah, totally. I definitely don't
Nudge,
have
nudge, rub, salt and wound.
yeah, nudge, wink, yeah, So yeah, I mean, guys, at the end of the day, for me personally, as much as I love going around and exploring on my own and clearing my head after working on a project all day or something, I love hanging out with the community, with awesome people in my ship, going on adventures next to me in their ships where we're all together having fun, dying on Korea, or we're just doing whatever, right? Or going up at the highest altitude possible and then jumping out in a gray cat and then jumping out of the gray cat and then trying to catch you, before you splat on the ground. And that's the kind of stuff I love. And having an unlimited sandbox in this vivid, dynamic, incredibly realized universe more and more all the time. And then with 3.3 launches, we're going to have so much more to do and so many more places to explore. Words aren't good enough for me. So I'm a little excited. Just coming around full circle, just a smidgen. Yeah, just a little bit, right? You believe me? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the spreadsheets right now for the roadmap. It's very
Right.
interesting.
Right? Oh man, and what was just mentioned in chat, which I'm a holiday or holiday. I don't know how to say
It's
the name.
our holiday.
Our holiday. I've seen your name before. You're yes. I'm the best with names all time. You don't have to tell me. But yes, I know. The thing is, though, yes, voice over IP. I'm so hyped. I was at Kovalex the other day, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in, grab a package, help out a mom, get her son's stuff, and make her life a little better. You know, I like role playing a little bit, getting into it, and be like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make the universe a little bit better. You know, one package from Kovalex at a time, right? I come up to the door, I kind of peek around the side, and a person with a pistol is right there. And they just kind of look at me, and I just go, wave emote, wave emote, wave. I really wanted to give an effort. And then his buddy comes around the corner, and I'm like, wave emote. And of course, I'm decked out in all my armor and all my guns and all that stuff. And I have my Merc mask on. So, you know, it's not like I look like I'm unprepared. And I'm like, hey guys, and I just kind of go on past them. Like, if they shoot me, they shoot me, you know. But I'm like, I'm gonna see what I can do. And guess what? I went in, grabbed the package, looked for it, had fun talking with chat, came back out, and they were out in their ship looking at my ship. And I'm like, cool, I got in my ship and went away. You know, it's those little moments. But you know what would have made it a lot better? Voice over IP. Hi guys, can you hear me? I can't wait for
talk to them. Yeah,
I can't wait. I'll be like, hey guys, how you doing? I'm here. If you try to shoot me, I will destroy all of you. You know, and your little dog too. Wait, what? What? Whoa, Ace. Whoa. But yeah, Fauna is not in the game yet, Ace. Okay, so
what do you think, Stewie?
Ace is the only one. Ace is the only one that I know who can do that. we were at the drug lab one time, and he's standing there at the doorway waving at people as they're landing. They run up, wave at him. They go inside and get the drugs. They come out. I try that, and I run up to the door right as I see the door cycling, and I do /emote or /wave, and my character's sitting there doing this right as the door opens, and I get shotgun right in the face. But Ace can sit there and wave at everybody, and everybody's just like, "What's up, dude?" And they walk off, and I'm like, "How do you do that?"
It's fun. We spent an hour one day just talking with everybody in chat. People were coming and going for like 45 minutes to an hour, just getting drugs, getting a Truotoxin, getting Widow. We're just having a wonderful, safe zone. Everybody's knows we're all just here to profit, guys. We're here to profit.
I'm up on the hill with a sniper rifle, waiting for someone to shoot him.
And I'm at the front of the stairs at the airlock, going, "Hi, everybody. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. Come on in. Get some profit."
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
It must be a difference. Are you guys dressed the same? Are you like in full like evil costume that says "shoot me" in the front, and he's not?
I normally, because I like playing the medic, like a healer in MMOs, so I normally grab the white RSI helmet and armor and undersuit. So I'm normally in that white suit, which to me looks like medical. Doesn't look like a pirate or a bad guy whatsoever. And I'm not.
Wait. That's your problem. You're at a bad guy site looking like a cop.
True. And that's what it is. Because Ace is always decked out in black, and he sits there and waves.
They're like, "Oh yeah, it's one of us."
One of us. So yes, I usually have full Merc gear out and with all my guns ready to rock and roll, and I'm like, but I don't think about that. I'm just prepared for something to happen. And I think, and then somebody brought up to me later, they're like, "Dude, you don't look like some dude just standing there that they can just take a pot shot at and just kill easily. You look like somebody that'll at least shoot back at them. And most people don't want to be shot back at." So I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
You know what? I wear the white suit too, and you get into a lot of scuffles. But to be perfectly honest, I just shoot back.
Yeah. Yep.
It solves the problem.
Yeah. No, I didn't have my gun drawn, and I was right in the middle of the emote. The door opens up, and literally, the guy had to have his hand or his finger on the trigger, because as soon as the door cracked open, bam! That's all I saw was shotgun shells in my face. It was horrible.
Well,
from then on,
you shouldn't ever be like right outside of the door. You should be like back up a little bit so they come out and see like, oh, he's waving. Yeah. Not like, oh crap, there's somebody right there. I'm gonna shoot you in that case, and I'm not even gonna be, no matter where we're at.
Right. Oh god.
I think overall though there's really not that much change in the roadmap from last week.
Mhm.
It really isn't.
It doesn't look like it.
The only big thing is the starter, the asteroid mining. That kind of went really far.
Mhm.
Yeah, 40%. That's pretty.
I'm pretty hyped about. Now I'm not big into the mining, but I'm excited about it for the community, right?
Yeah.
And I do love dabbling here and there in it, but that just goes to show one more little loop, one more little gameplay, one more little thing, you know. And jeez,
Yeah, I love Rough Galaxy.
yeah, it'd be cool.
Yes.
Which I'm hyped about.
Yeah, they look good.
I'm so hyped. I really do love the Mustangs. Look fast. They look
They
fast.
do.
You know what I mean?
That's
It's
true,
like,
yeah.
yes, I
Yeah.
want that. And of course, red makes everything goes faster. What?
The
Yes, it goes faster.
color of
So, yeah.
speed.
Absolutely, right? Right? So yeah, I'm excited about it for sure. I
So-
God, think okay. Go ahead, dude. I'm hyped about the shooting thing. I'm hyped about them mentioning having your guns at the ready. You know, not
Yes.
ready to fire, but they're at the ready. And I'm like, I can't wait to have that center ready to go position, standing right there in front of the drug lab, waving at everybody with my with my rifle right there, ready to go, or my Devastator shotgun. Oh god.
So let's talk about calling all devs.
Right?
What that was like the one thing that we did not hear a bunch of salt from.
That's true, yeah. Wow, that
So
seems
we-
like such a long time ago. Yeah, what happened? Oh, we're gonna watch a little recap?
We're gonna
Oh, nice.
park through it because I remember roughly the location, which is Multi-Crew and Vandal Swarm is not coming soon. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a TM for that one, sadly. But it is on the plan.
Yep. It's exciting. I'm just glad they're keeping the priorities straight with the, persistent universe being on what matters. So as much as I love the other modes, the PU is what it is. The other modes were meant as test bases for the persistent universe,
Right, I remember this now. Wow, this
Yeah.
seems like such a long time ago. Holy
Right?
crap.
I always have this problem. Like, what the frick happened Monday? I know that was like 3 days ago usually when I'm making this, but that's
Right?
3 whole days.
This
so
is why I
one
need
is-
to take notes.
Yes. I just remember where it's located at on the slider roughly. Then I skim through it and find what looks like that part, and then skipped it like I did there here. But will you run out of fuel just randomly as you're trying to get to somewhere? I think that they've essentially said that the current mechanic that exists actually. I don't know if you guys have ever ran into this. Like, for instance, it won't let you jump to Hearst, right? Because it's too far. You don't have enough fuel. They're not going to actually enforce that in the future. They're going to actually just make it so you have like a Google Maps kind of deal that allows you to plot a route and then run through that way.
And I think they also mentioned during the ATV that they expect that you should have to refuel your ship once every hour and a half or something like that. I
Yep.
think.
Yeah,
Yep, about
they
a
said they're
couple
gonna
hours,
refactor
give or
it.
take, depending on what you're doing. And they're going to
Subject to
expand it
change.
and change it as they expanded the universe.
Yeah.
Next up, they ask, can we get the random jump like we used to in 263, where I can just jump to some
They
random
always
point?
ask for this. They always
know.
ask for this.
Yeah.
Most
And the short
asked
answer is
question, probably.
Eventually.
It was a lot of fun in 2.6, I gotta say. It's something that is missing, I think, in 3.0.
Yeah, I agree.
And if I remember right, that was literally, yeah. Oh no, there's personal hangar updates, and we learned more about that in the RTV, which is essentially yes, there are new personal hangars coming that'll be attached to personal habs, aka apartments, and you might even be able to be rich enough to afford your own garage as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be cool.
Excited.
And that was
Shoot.
calling all devs. For ATV, somebody want to take that on? and all of its salt.
ATV. First, yeah. Yeah, what? My gosh, what happened? Water. That's right. I watched a lot of Water on ATV. That was great. What else happened on ATV?
Well,
Just trying to watch.
some of the I don't remember as much about it like I would like to, but I watched it. I watched it a few times.
They released the ATV in the middle of a bar citizen. Wait, no, that was last week. RTV. Things
Is
are
that
blurry.
what that? Right.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
blurs together, right? And that's the problem with this. I'm like, which thing was this again? Because I watch so much Star Citizen every week. You know, it's like, was that last week? Was that 2 days ago?
Oh yeah, that's right. They've got the new space one is coming out for the new scramble race. They have a space version coming soon to you.
Yes.
And they've also made it so there's some changes to like how hover bikes work.
They're going to turn off the flying ability during those, and it gives some interesting
It only goes so high.
options. Yeah. That's so exciting. God.
They
Yeah, I'm
got
not
some
really
looks at
good
the
at it.
walls of Loreville. There's another one. Let me go back
Hmm?
to that.
They seem to put a lot of I don't know. We seem to see the walls of Lorville quite a bit. What? Like,
Mhm.
what's the purpose behind that? Like, what's fascinating about these walls that I'm not seeing?
I think it's just because there's so many of them.
Right.
I see.
Right?
And we got to see smoke, which any of us that have been living in the Pacific Northwest, we've seen enough of that.
Yeah.
Man, to everybody involved with that, I hope you all are doing okay and your loved ones are safe and sound and not too sick from all the smoke. I know a few people have been getting really, really sick because of the smoke in their area. So,
And the water,
Water.
is a really good place to swim.
yeah,
I
right?
love the water.
Yeah, and drink deeply as
Look
well.
at that water.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look at that water.
Mhm.
At least
I
it
don't
looks
care that it's
realistic.
toxic. It looks great. Yeah,
It does look
right?
realistic.
And they
Yeah.
said in that clip, what they said was that the water interacts with the beach or like the terrain.
Yep.
And
Isn't
I'm
that
like,
cool, dude?
super cool.
It's like
Yeah, that's-
physics-based water,
that's
right?
legit.
Kind of things, yeah. And all the cyclones, don't those look so good though, too? Oof.
Yeah, I'm excited for my AA and my RP.
Right? Right?
And then there's this
I'm
new
looking forward to
gun.
my good old Warthog TR. So,
I don't
Yeah, I
understand
got
what
the
their
RN
obsession
and
is.
cyclones.
What
Well,
is that,
Kai,
inside?
Kai is very much into that stuff.
a lot of it was the sound of
Oh,
the
yeah.
gun was
Yeah.
Yeah.
sound of yep. Kind of like with mining, you can go off like visual cues and sound cues similar to that weapon. You can hear it like it was like a burn, sort of whatever, right? You know,
Yeah,
oh,
it had
that
a
pew
wind
pew
up.
pew pew. There, that's more like it, Ace.
We hear about the boxes and the irregular shapes coming in for OCS. What was another thing?
That's
they announced
exciting.
That is cool.
It's cool they have a tool like this that you can visualize it.
It is.
Well-
Isn't
yeah.
that, dude? Yeah.
Hilariously enough, a lot of these they've built themselves for themselves, which is also kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, that is the best thing. I've talked about this so many times, how throughout human history, for any major innovation, you have to build the tools just to get started, you know? And with this here, they're building the tools just to do their work because it doesn't exist, you know? It's so cool.
They're automating tasks like everybody else is.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I find it hilarious though that they have to actually
Conversation.
segment the Idris. It's so big that they have to actually segment out the Idris in order to do streaming.
Isn't that
And
cool?
now it's time for the salt.
Fast forward.
Absolutely. It's part of development, part of it.
So,
I can't believe you actually fast forwarded it. That's hilarious.
That was
let's go
pretty
back.
good, dude.
I hate talking about this.
I
one.
mean, we don't have to.
Let's
whatever.
do what they did and briefly talk about
Cliff notes.
it.
Cliff notes.
Short version.
Let's
They
do
were going to
some-
charge $20 to watch the con from remote, but you got some cool like skins and goodies and stuff out of it, and that was the thing. Maybe a couple of rifles like they did last year. That set a lot of people off because it's now a paywall to watch the con. Well, Why is Sig so greedy? They're just out for my money. Chris Roberts is now turned into Satan. Like, I've heard a lot of stuff this week so far. And it's crazy. All right, everybody,
Hey guys,
give your 30-second version of what you think about it. Let's just do it.
Oh man, I can't believe you asked that.
So,
You know what
Gillian,
though?
you're
Like,
first.
I'm just curious, but like, we should say if we're plus or minus for it. Like, if we wish we would have said, you know, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm
All right,
thumbs
ready?
up. Like, I thought it was a good idea. So like, you know, maybe next year. That's what you said. It was about timing, right? So like,
Yeah, definitely timing.
maybe it's just premature. So, anyways, that's my spiel.
I'm thumbs up. I like the idea. Compared to their thing last year, I'm glad that it's the keynote is up front.
Mhm.
The rest of the stuff,
Definitely.
I can wait till YouTube to watch it. That's not a big deal.
The next day.
Yeah. Well, because then like there's something that catches your attention on YouTube, you can pause it and back it up a little bit and watch it again.
Mhm.
Where you can't do that live. So I'd rather watch it. The dev stuff, I'd rather watch on YouTube. So yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, similar. I'm glad that they're gonna let the public see the exciting, awesome, cool stuff, and then for those people that want to dive deep, you can do that if you want. But all the cool, flashy stuff and all the really interesting, announcements and everything from Chris and all that, everybody wants to see that, and the public needs to see that, right? That's important. The other stuff is for the more invested or fanatical people that love all the tech and love all the deep stuff that other people, they're like, we don't care about this crap. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think they did the right thing. I think they made a good decision, and I would say thumbs up as well. So
Wow. What about you, Penguin?
How do I put this? Depends on which angle. Like, my business hat says thumbs up. I understand they're doing it. I have created the systems that are needed to do all this streaming before. They're not cheap. Like, not cheap at all.
yep,
We're talking
It's not-
thousands
it's
of
not
dollars
free.
just to
It's not
create
free,
the
right?
servers
Mhm.
for this.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yet alone, now there's the really expensive camera crew that they've hired for this, the really expensive producers that they've hired for this. It's not SIG putting this on like the last years. Like, this is an actual professional crew doing this. And they're
Yep.
so now, because of all this outrage, they're taking money from their funding that we've given them to build the game just to make up for the fact of all these salty people. So that part I am not happy about. The fact that everybody blew this out of proportion. Like, from a business standpoint, I would rather that they charge us for this and
Absolutely.
not
Yeah.
take out of everything else. Hey, Kraken!
yep.
Um,
Hey, Kraken, great to see you.
So now we
Very
have the
cool.
problem that money that is meant for development of the game is now going to go to pay these guys instead of people who are using the service paying for it. And I'm not okay with that. On the flip side, I don't really think that they needed a professional crew. Like, yes, they had some issues in the last few years, but they're not really big enough. They don't even have a full game out yet that they need a professional crew. Like, these kind of, like, everybody just expects that they're going to have issues.
Yep.
So I think that they shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And then on the final side of, I am glad that they are trying to film everything at this point, though. And what they're kind of doing, which is kind of a compromise, I think is fine. Where they're actually, the last update, I think they're now making the whole thing free, just to kind of get everybody off their backs. And
No, they shouldn't been at the
that's
meat
the
like
last
that.
update is that they're now just going to make all of it open and free. And
That's
now
true.
a lot of money is coming out of our development budget for them and going to this.
Stupid.
And what they should have
Wow.
did is, if they were going to do a professional crew, they should have went with their option 2. They're like, quick stumble, oh crap, this is what we really meant, wink wink, nudge nudge. They should have stuck with that.
Yep.
But by that point, or they should have started with that, to be more exact. But
Yep.
yeah. Another thing that they could have done is they could
Jeez.
have, just thinking from the streamer standpoint, they could have did a low quality, like a standard SD stream for people, and then had an upgrade option to HD, and made some of the money back that way. In which case, it's not behind a paywall. You can watch it live. You can see everything you need to see. But if you want to see the cool, like really good graphics, then you have to pay up and help support their extra costs, because the more like quality you see up, like if you see Twitch and they have like the 8 different versions, they have to pay for every one of those streams. And yeah, the 480 isn't too bad, by the way, but the rest of them up above that, especially 1080, is insane. You get to 4K and frick.
I think
So
that
true.
the cost of tickets, though, I don't think that they're going to take any money of the development budget to do CitizenCon. I think that's why they sell the tickets and they have a subscription system.
That's just it.
Yep.
They had tickets for the live stream to pay for that portion. From
I
everything
see
I'm
what you're saying
seeing,
now. Yeah.
everything I'm seeing, the tickets that they're selling right now, they didn't sell out. They're not even close. So they might barely break even on the con side. And now
That's
they're
true.
losing
Yeah.
money on the stream side instead of trying to break even there. Because that's all they're really actually trying to do. If you look at the numbers and you look at the cost behind the scenes of these, they were going to break even. Now they're negative and maybe negative.
Yeah, it's not good business wise, and it's stupid. They should not have bent at the knee and given in to all that. But at the same time, they don't want people to get.
Their marketing on this was horrible. They needed to go take a page from
Yeah.
Apple and
That's what happened. Yep.
Yeah,
ask somebody from Apple to come help them out, because Apple could sell you a eye water and you would pay $200 for it.
it's the best eye water. You'll never have to drink again, right?
Yeah.
Until
Jeez.
3 months later when we release a new version.
Yeah, well then
I
what,
water
you
too.
would want to drink again. You want to drink again, obviously.
Well, I hope they can make it work for next year, because I'd love to see their super high quality streaming conference.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know what
Yeah.
Kraken is saying? Like, this is all I care about, really. I care about the community and I care about the growth of the population, because that's what
There you go.
business really boils down to. And the fact that Chris Roberts addressed it and
Yeah, and so quickly too,
apologized
right?
or what have you, formed an explanation at least. That's all I care about, as long as he communicates it. That's
Yeah.
all I care about. Just tell me what's up.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yeah,
so
he
let's go
was
to
pretty quick
RTV.
on
My favorite one so
thank
far.
God. Communication.
So, in RTV, we had a recap of, once again, the personal hangars. We had
Apartments.
and the apartments that come with it. The big thing that came out of this, though, like there was some little bits of information that was kind of useful, but is where is it? Can I find it? Where are they? Oh, I went over it. Too far. Where's the person? Essentially, do not interrupt Disco when he's doing his thing, okay?
It's so true.
Because
So
you'll
true.
end up with him just saying, screw it, I'm gonna go hit some things, in this case, pool balls.
You
Poor Christian / Nikki.
Yeah, he keeps him. He keeps himself pretty well under control, but you could tell he can get truly driven, and he was. Yeah,
Is the guy laughing in the bottom right corner at this whole
It looks
thing?
like
Because
this.
like this is awkward as hell.
Yeah.
Like, this is
So-
the most awkward thing.
yeah.
Let's look at
He-
some
he's
things real
trying to
quick.
keep us cool,
Look at Pappy's face in this.
right? Right, and he's trying to give good information, which was great. I really wanted to hear what he had to say, and he did. We heard everything he had to say, but it was just like, oh crap. And Jared was not happy. He was.
Jared's
I
over
don't-
here
I
just
don't
like,
think-
screw this, I'm out of,
Yep.
cares to give,
Yep.
ducks to give. Christian over here, the thing to remember, that Christian sees the chat at the moment.
right?
These guys do not.
Right?
He does.
Yeah,
And he's just consistently going like,
Yeah.
guys, I don't know either.
so
Like,
true.
he shrugged a
So
few
true.
different times. See if I can find one of them.
You know what? Imagine this. Imagine that like Disco had a disagreement with Chris Roberts, because like
All right, there
Disco's
we go.
like you don't sell virtual tickets, and Roberts is like, I'm gonna sell virtual tickets, and then Disco just be like, yep, told you so, and then goes and plays pool on RTV.
Right? Right?
Look at Christian's face in this one.
So true. So true. Oh man.
The whole chat was like, really? What the, WTF? oh, this is what we've come down to. This is a perfect wrap to the week. Like all these kind of things.
Basically.
At least it was humorous and a bit of a silly laugh, and just like, oh well, it is what it is, right?
If only
things happen, just go with it, right?
If only there was a dumpster on fire in the background or something.
What was the other things we got out today? They talked. There was one that they asked him and he didn't answer it. Space stations was one, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have space stations. And the short version was as well, that's before my time. I'm really kind of opposed to it. But maybe we can put it on the surface. And it's kind of like space stations on planet surfaces aren't space stations.
Yeah.
I
thought that was such a cool idea too. I'd love to own a truck stop. I think that'd be so much fun. Or own a series of truck stops. Yeah, totally.
That would be. Absolutely. I'd love to like manage one and have fun with it and have like a whole bunch of them, you know.
There was a game back in the 90s that was called Theme Hospital, and I'm sure there's a bunch of games like this, but it was this game where you had to manage a hospital, and I'm like, you could apply this game to any industry at all and it would still be a lot of fun. And I imagine that for running a truck stop, you know.
Absolutely, dude. It's so fun.
Imagine if you had a strip club in a truck stop. Imagine if it was modular like that.
All right, so let's talk. What was the other one? Was there any of the ones you guys remember for today? I didn't get good notes on today.
I will take notes next week.
Do you have anything, Stu, you remember?
No, and this is actually the first time. This Around the Verse was the first time that while I was streaming, it came out, and I've seen, you know, other streamers, Great Headed Gamer and Red Lear, like and Super Mac Brothers, like they'll watch ATV while, you know, like during the stream, and you can watch it with them. So this is the first time that I actually streamed this. Like I watched it while I was streaming, so my concentration wasn't fully on it because I was also reading chat. So I missed the whole whatever happened at the end where Jared gets up and starts shooting pool. Like I missed all, so I'm going to go back and watch that because I missed that whole thing.
So what you can actually tell is when you see the people leave, you can just see him like, what the guys, like, come on. And then Pappy gives them credit. Like he starts going off on Pokemon, and you just see like the redness in his face keeps going brighter and brighter red. Like you just see him just going, stop talking about it and let's move on. And finally, he's just like, I'm out. You do your thing. You gave them credit. I don't care about you. I don't care about them. Screw you guys. I'm going to go play some pool. And then what chat said is he's a bit of a perfectionist. So he was pissed by 2 different groups of people coming in and interrupting him. 2 different groups came in and interrupted him. There was the Pokemon group that had to collect a Pokemon. The Raichu.
It was a Raichu.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was one for there was the guys that came in and Nerf gunned him.
Yeah.
He didn't seem happy about that, yeah.
No, the Nerf gun is like the thing that put him over the edge, I think.
It was it was just stupid of him. I mean, in terms of professionalism and the presentation, because Todd Pappy is extremely interesting and he's extremely high level. Mm-hmm. He has a lot of depth, a lot of interest. Jared is over there having this special occasion at that time in that place with Todd to go over some very interesting information that a lot of us want to know, at least a lot of us that are really in depth and really care about those really deep, interesting topic points. This is the guy to talk to, right? Because he is the voice of Chris. Like he said during this, he is the voice of Chris when Chris is, asleep, because, they're over in Europe, they're in Germany. And so if anybody's going to know, or if anybody's going to be able to give us those really interesting answers and maybe even some really cool insight into what's coming, this is the guy to do it. And Jared was so excited and so hyped to bring that to us as a community, which I love listening to Todd Pappy. It's interesting, just like when Tony Z comes on, or just like Aaron Roberts, whenever he's around. Those are people I want to really hear. Those are the things that I listen to multiple times to get information out of. And for these other people to come in and interrupt a really cool segment like this, yeah, it's fun and interesting and lighthearted in some ways, but it wasn't good. It was not good, and they shouldn't have done that, you know. But you know, Star Citizen's amazing. I'm excited about it. I love everything about it, and I really wanted to hear what Todd had to say. And oh well, got interrupted. It is what it is.
I would love to know what
Yeah,
the reason
maybe
was
I'm too
behind it.
serious,
Yeah.
guys. Maybe I'm too serious. Maybe I'm taking it the wrong way. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think?
No, I said the same thing on stream because I was streaming while that was going on, and I was like,
Sure.
dude, you don't walk away from the camera while it's still going. Like, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I'll ask him about it if I see him.
Well, it wasn't just Jared, but it's the other people. Jared he held himself together. He held together. He did fine. He did a good job. You know, going away, walking over there, sure. Yeah, I didn't agree with that. But those other people, that was not cool what they did. That wasn't cool.
Well,
you know?
I don't know. They're European. They're a different culture, right?
Well,
I mean,
of
maybe
course,
it's not
of course.
okay in the United States, but
Yeah,
it's different
but
there.
certain overarching cultural aspects when you're giving a presentation for your company, you don't. I don't know. I don't know.
You know
I
what,
don't know.
Kraken? I met Jared before, and I think he's the most awkward person on the planet. I don't think he is a bad dude at all. I think that he's been like through a couple of scuffles in his life, and it shows.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
he seems awkward as hell. Like those
cool
super wing commander fans.
Mhm.
Same thing. I think he's just one of those guys.
He definitely is passionate and he loves it, you know?
Totally.
The big thing I'll say is you could tell like he was building in with him. He also said he's on NyQuil, right? Like he's drugged up. He's
Yeah,
sick.
that's a good point.
Yes, that's true.
And then
had
here
a
comes
big-
some
already
people
feeling
just
well.
like cruising, walking back and forth and behind him, and
Yeah.
you know, talking
Yeah.
about Pokemon, and then he gets shot by some Nerf, and he hasn't been
Yeah.
sleeping this week. He's mentioned that before too. Like he hasn't
I'm
slept
sure
much
he's
because of
not.
the con.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
all those things combined, he had to just walk away, and it's good that he walked away instead of
Yeah.
blowing up on stream. Like what he did was a little unprofessional, but it's better than what he could have did.
He did a great job and he held it together. If you look at him and if you can read people, you can tell certain things. And Todd Pappy too, actually. You could tell Todd held it together. He was doing great. He's a professional, right? He wouldn't have the position he does if he wasn't a professional. But you could tell he kept it focused. He kept answering the questions. He kept the discussion going, trying to stay on target and give a great, presentation for us. A great, give and take with Jared. And he was doing his best as well. So I give both these guys credit. And everybody else behind the scenes there, well, not behind the scenes, but literally behind the scenes there, it wasn't cool on their part. And I'm sure there were some discussions had,
I was gonna say, I wonder
I
what,
wonder
discussion
what would have
afterwards was.
happened.
I hope he
I
doesn't
wondered-
lose his job or something crazy like that. I don't ever
Yeah,
want that man to
I
lose
doubt
his
that.
job.
I
That's
wonder
right.
what would have happened if a third group came in while he's back there with holding the pool stick. That might have been dangerous.
Well, they did talk about melee weapons as being a possible thing. Okay, I'm kidding. But
You see him
yeah,
just chasing him out.
right?
Get off
Right?
my lawn.
So funny.
All right, guys,
All
let's
right.
move on to the video. This is one of the
Absolutely.
releases a few hours ago, so I actually don't know
really?
what's on this.
Really?
So,
Cool.
yeah, it just released this 4 hours ago.
It's pretty
Because-
cool. It's a pretty cool one.
Screw all of us that are putting together videos and stuff, right?
No,
Right.
do that.
That's
Push
right.
play.
Yeah,
Push play.
it is a fun one. Definitely worth looking at.
Yeah, reverse the verse today. Actually, all of the verse titled ones this week were interesting and had their own things that happened in them.
Very true.
All right, I'm gonna mute us all.
All right, cool.
Star Citizen is built around community engagement. And from Austin, Texas, 2013, across Angeles,
Hey, everyone!
Manchester, England,
Having that Citizen Con underneath a Concorde jet.
and Frankfurt, Germany. CitizenCon has let fans enjoy that deep level of interaction firsthand. CitizenCon attendees have witnessed the reveals of ships like the Hornet, the Retaliator bomber, and the Gladiator fighter,
Allow me to introduce Pioneer.
as well as future Star Citizen locations, from the desolate wastes of Hurston to the bustling city planet ArcCorp. They welcomed Aaron Roberts, the Cloud Imperium foal.
Notoriously stage shy.
Witnessed the first Squadron 42 gameplay footage seen anywhere.
That's what we shot for Squadron 42.
They've shared unforgettable experiences,
You have won a dual XR9 285.
Right, here we go.
I realized I was one of the lucky ones who got the golden ticket.
Everybody that is here will get the weapon that we pick. Okay, I think. Screw it, we'll do both of them.
and remarkable interactions.
It's really, really awesome what they've done with Intel, like the giant saber outside.
I really like this, that you can unlock your face and move your head around.
Off to Jared.
Phoenix Interstellar? Yes. Yeah, this guy from Phoenix Interstellar just showed up here.
First-hand opportunities to pick the brains of developers and maybe even make your case for a ship or feature.
The outpost be salvageable.
I want him to be.
I want to as well.
Well, I want to say thank you for your hard work. You do.
And now we should have a drink.
They felt the creative energy in the air, a sense of wonder and camaraderie, the passion of fans, backers, and devs alike, as people from all corners of the verse come together to make memories that'll last a lifetime.
Please raise your hand if you have made at least one heartfelt connection with another human being while being part of this project in any shape or form.
Yes, I forgot the button. My bad, everybody.
Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with a big info.
Oh, frick. Board Gamer, where'd you come from?
Board Gamer suddenly joined. Player 4 suddenly joined.
7's Junkyard in space.
Absolutely, dude.
Let's get this
Good
back.
seeing you, my friend. Good seeing all of you, really. So many names I recognize. I always appreciate seeing you guys. We have such a great community here with Star Citizen, you know? You guys are awesome.
For sure. It's
Totally.
kind of cool seeing, like, a shout out to Nuplup, a new Star Citizen player as of like a couple days ago. Met him on Polysapien's channel. Shout out to Polysapien.
Yes. Super cool. Yes, definitely shout out to Polly. Yeah.
Alright, what else do we have this week? I think we have a little show and tell, don't we?
Totally.
Oh my.
Let's pull this up.
I love show and tell. It's my favorite thing.
There you go.
Reddit. Yeah, we're not touching that Junkyard in space.
Right? Yeah, nope. They said I was dead.
Hi, I'm Chris Roberts. Ever since I saw Star Wars as a wide-eyed 8-year-old, I dreamt of being a hotshot pilot saving the galaxy or a lovable rogue making my way across the cosmos. It inspired me to make Wing Commander and has influenced everything I've done since then. 10
Really
years
cool.
ago, after 20 years of making games, I was
Yeah,
burned
this
out,
is
so
the
I
old
took a
version of the
break.
game,
But I
don't
never
care.
stopped playing games nor loving them. And now,
When
I'm
things were
ready to
ugly.
come
Yeah,
back.
weren't they
I'd like
ugly
to
back
show
then?
you
But we
something.
thought they were so cool. Because I think we were comparing it to like Elite Dangerous or something. I don't know what was wrong with us.
But I don't want to build any old game.
So
I want to build
cool,
a
though.
universe. I want
It's
to build a
fun to
game I
see.
always wanted to build, but I didn't have the tools to do until now. One that you can fly off a carrier fighting a heroic war on the front lines, but also one that you can... What I'm building, yeah, the Star Citizen Squadron 4.
This is the Bengal.
What I'm building, yeah, the Star Citizen Squadron.
So this is the one that
42
has
combination. You
1500
essentially
if I remember
have
right.
both
True.
things available to you. So Squadron 42 is the sort of single player experience where you are getting missions. You're in the military, so you know it's
The
not an open
Javelin's
world,
less.
'cause
I think the
you're gonna be
Javelin's
going
600.
AWOL if you decide you want to go after someone first, and then it's open world. You can go where you.
So yeah, this is an old, like the first one, if I remember right? The first like thing that they posted out, like, hey, you should actually care about this game. Yeah, this was even before like anything. Cool.
That was my show.
Yeah,
and tell.
really.
Stay tuned for next week to find out more.
There you
Yeah,
go.
in that show though, we saw a Javelin, an Idris, and a Bengal. We didn't see a super. Actually, I think we saw a quick glance of a super carrier, because that's the one thing bigger than the Bengal.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, there are so many assets that we haven't even seen yet that they have tucked away. It's incredible how much stuff they actually have.
Yeah.
That they actually have built that most people have no clue about unless they've been following this for a long time and remember, you know, there's so much they have. It's so cool.
I mean,
For
we could.
sure.
I could post the big guns video in chat, and if you think that's something you want to do, then
Let's do next week.
sure.
Cool, dude. All righty, guys.
What else? Was there anything else for this week that we needed to bring up? Lore. There was a new lore post.
Yes, I love the lore. Oh, it's so good, dude. What do you guys think? Anything?
I didn't actually read the lore post.
Okay.
It was about the Star Runner, was it?
I think.
Well,
no.
That was the other thing, yeah. But this was about a young girl, and as she, you know, starting when she was young, it was a story, 4-part story, and it was the knowledge of good and evil, or good and what is it? There we go. Thanks, dude. Brought it up. Yeah, the knowledge of good and evil. Yep. And it was the final part, and it was really cool.
Gotcha.
Want me to talk a little bit about the whole series a little bit, or the wrap up of this?
You probably know more than anybody, that's for sure.
I've
cool,
actually
yeah.
read them all except for this one, but yes, let's hear you do it because I'm tired of talking.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So this was really, really cool. The little one, as Mother Superior calls her, basically Mother Superior found her when she was, and correct me if I'm wrong, KP, you know, all the little details, where she was caught doing something, can't remember exactly what. She's extremely talented and gifted individual in regards to technology, you know, learning of various areas of interest for her. And so in this 4th part, she is on the very edge of putting a special device into the archives of the convent type location where they have all their data stored, right? And where they keep it safe for various reasons. And she doesn't do it. And before this, though, she had been through a lot. You know, the Mother Superior found her, brought her to the convent, gave her a safe place to stay, and gave her a place to learn and grow and prosper. She was a street rat, I believe is what they're called, right? Street rats, basically an orphan, just living on the streets. And so she grows and learns and gets more and more amazing in her knowledge and capabilities. And Mother Superior nurtures her and helps her. And I believe she's an older teenager, young adult in this fourth part, KP.
Yeah,
right? Something
she's
like that.
now like
And
early
so
teens.
and so she goes out and about, and I think some of part 2 into 3, I think she goes out and she is teaching the children, right? The rats, right, out, and she's teaching them and helping them with a couple of other sisters. And she gets approached by one of the bosses that she used to know, that she technically, I believe, still owed something to, but he's not a good guy. I believe his name is Dirk, right? Dirk or something like that. And now he's more of a big boss. Either he killed somebody off within that district, within that area, or he just made his own stake and made his own territory over the years that she was away in the convent, and so he approached her, and he gave her an ultimatum. Either she uses a certain device in the archives and brings it back to him, or he will do very bad things to the children that are out there. And so she's extremely worried about that. So she looks over the device, right? She's very, very technically gifted, almost savant level in some ways. And so she looks over everything, and she dives deep into it, and she realizes it's going to wipe the entire archives and also extract data out for Dirk. And there we go. And so to wrap it up a little more, you guys can look into it. I can do a full summary, but not going to now. She ends up in part 4. It starts out where she is heavily debating because he has kidnapped the children at the end of part 3, and he's gonna sell them off or kill them. And so Mother Superior knew she was up to something, catches her, and ends up booting her out, kind of, sort of. And so then she uses all of her technical skills, uses all of her prior experience as a rat on the street, and finds out where the kids are. She infiltrates the area, kind of like Sam Fisher or like Snake, right, from Metal Gear Solid. Infiltrates the area, gets in, and finds out where the kids are. And they end up getting onto her and finding out that she's there. So she finds the kids. She's in a horrible situation in a garage, and they're about to break in through the door, all the bad guys. And she says, "Children, hide, go," and they go and hide. And she's holding a little one on her back, trying to keep her safe. She's about dead. And at the very last minute, the police show up. Mother Superior walks out of one of the cars. The little one, the girl at this point, not so little anymore, is slumped against a wall, tired as heck because she had been up for days before trying to figure out what to do. And she hands her Moby glass to Mother Superior from all the data she extracted from Dirk's safe data room. Mother Superior actually sent, after the little one sent a special message to the convent through a special line that she set up earlier, and they found out what she was doing and where she was at, and helped save those children. And Dirk got away. So maybe Dirk's a character in the verse right now. Who knows? Maybe we'll come across him in some way, shape, or form. And that's some of the basics right there. And she ended up being brought into the convent, and it was really cool. All the sisters, all the nuns, whatnot, came together and gave her a name. And it was what was it? Luther the Great or something, or Luther the Redeemer or something like that, or the Redeemer Luther was her title and given because she was courageous and also bold in her actions, just like Luther was with the Lutheran Church and all that history here on earth. So that was a bit of the synopsis, and it's cool stuff. So KP, if you have anything else, cool, dude. There you go. It's good stuff, worth a read. Go look at it. Go check it out. If you have a link to it or whatnot, it's well worth it.
There's a new picture with a Herald with a great hanger that Junkyard was talking about in chat. Definitely give it a look-see. Check it out.
I thought he was talking about the Reclaimer image.
No. Might be.
The one I put in Discord, I think that's the giant hanger.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, Junkyard in Space. I mean, gotta give him the right stuff. The guy knows his Reclaimers, you know what I mean? They call him Junkyard for a reason.
There you go.
Oh, well, whatever. We can make it a Herald instead. It's just easier. Sorry.
Either way, thank you guys, everybody, for coming hanging out. It's much appreciated. We're going to call it a night. Thank you once again. If you guys have not followed Stewie, Ace Tycho, or Sigelian, definitely go give them some love. You've seen them in chat, so you know how to find them. Kraken is in chat as well. Another awesome streamer for us. The Tonk guy showed up tonight. Another great streamer. Is there anybody else I missed? I don't think so.
Don't think so. Nope. Look good.
Once again, thank you, everybody. This is the night show. We're changing things up next week a little bit, so expect that. And we'll see you guys soon.
See you around the verse.
Good seeing you.
Bye, guys.